Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another review. I've got a second opinion, and it's on Doom: The Dark Ages. That's right, guys. We've been reviewing Doom: The Dark Ages, and we're here to share our thoughts on the game. The game is set to launch May 15th, and is set to launch into early access, I think, the 12th or the 13th. We've been playing the game for some time, and I've got to say, guys, it is everything I wanted in a Doom prequel that I didn't know that I wanted, but realize now that I'm glad that I have. Anyways, so Doom: The Dark Ages. In Doom: The Dark Ages, this game is set as a prequel to the critically acclaimed Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal that tells an epic cinematic story worthy of the Doom Slayer's legend. And when we speak of the Doom Slayer's legend, we are speaking of in the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthen, one stood. He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred he found no peace, and with his boiling blood he scoured the ambral plains, seeking vengeance against the dark lords who wronged him. And those who tasted his bite named him the Doomslayer. And by the way, it was bite of his sword, okay? But still, they named him the fucking Doomslayer, okay? Let's get into this shit. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I am leaving this review 100% spoiler-free, okay? But I'm going to fucking tell you something. I don't know what they do at id Software. I really don't. I don't know if it's just, they bathe in excellence, or maybe they have a portal to hell, and they've been like, actually, this whole storyline and everything is based on them finding Argent Energy, and that's how they make these badass fucking games. Because this is amazing, guys. Amazing. Such a great testament to Doom in general. The gameplay is super fast, super smooth, amazing weapons, new stylized enemies of classic the classic lore return. We see so much of classic Doom in this game, but so much of new different styles that are a merger between what we know and of course, as well with this lore, it's like this olden aged technology based medieval era. It's such a total metal game. That's what this game is. It is the most metal game of 2025. It's so amazing. Playing back through the game, I've played it through twice now, and I've got to say I've really enjoyed my time taking on some of these enemies, like the Stalker, the Revenant, the Titans, the Hell Knights. I mean, there's so much of a new design to a lot of these classic style of characters that we've seen, but we've seen this series since this soft relaunch that happened in 2016 that has taken the series in such a great way, and we're seeing it told in different ways as well. So this is not Doom 2016. This isn't Doom Eternal. This isn't things that we like a play style that we know before, because as we know, Doom 2016 was more kind of, I feel like, more linear. Doom Eternal was more based on fast-paced, scaling and all this other stuff. This was more in-your-face, upfront action. And if anything, it showed a version of the Doomslayer that we haven't really seen before. And I'm stating in the aspect of saying this, really focusing on this name. This is the first time we've seen the Doomslayer somewhat more human than he was in the previous games, because in the previous games he was already at that point of being pretty close to God tier, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we see the beginning, and we see why when he scoured the umbral plains and was facing off against the demonic hordes while in hell, or in whatever. While he's down in this hell realm, we see why the demonic hordes are so scared of the Doomslayer. And that's because of what is featured in this game. It is such a hardcore style, action-packed, fast-paced game with so many cool new things that are added in that we, of course, didn't get to see before, but now see in kind of like a early version of him. So, of course, we have things like, the super shotgun back. We have the plasma rifle back. We have the chainsaw back in a different way, which is now a chainsaw shield, which comes in handy so much more than what you would ever think. We got the rocket launcher. We also have a flail this time, and we have a couple other melee things that occur. Of course, you use your fist, but I'm not going to spoil a lot for the game. But we have the flail, and then we also have the one and only BFC. That's right. Just like we say with the BFG, the big fucking gun that just completely decimates all enemies, we have the BFC on here, which is a medieval style BFG crossbow. It's just a cross. We're shooting Jesus at the demons, people. All right, get ready. But anyways, it is such a good game. It's great, a great expansion of the overall lore and things that me personally, as a huge Bethesda and Doom fan, I have been wanting answered for quite some time. Now, we, of course, know the original lore of the Doom Slayer, but I really wanted to know more about what happened in between. How, when he was coming about, like what was the big thing with this? And Hugo Martin, Marty Stratton, and the whole team over at id Software answered the questions that I needed, connected the dots that I really wanted connected as well. But there's a lot to offer in this game. As I said, I played through this game twice. I had a lot of fun. I'm actually on my second playthrough now, but there's tons of different secrets for you available. There's not really anything for me to complain about with this game. I didn't have any issues. I felt the game felt more kind of classic Doom style of gameplay. There's a lot of really great kind of call-outs and shout-outs to the original classic. I will say there was a really cool thing. Of course, at the bottom on the HUD, you can see that the Doom Slayer's face is there, kind of like the classic games. You can actually turn that into the 8-bit style, or 8-bit, 32-bit or 16-bit style Doom Slayer or Doom Guy from the original games. And I just thought that was so cool. And that's the thing about these games, especially coming out of Bethesda and id Software. They care so much about building these universes and building something that is unique and that feels like it is from the heart. And that is what this game is. It is directly from the heart of id Software. This is by far one of the coolest Doom games that I have played. You have so many different styles of play on a continuous basis. You have the regular Doom style gameplay. And then, of course, you get to ride the dragon. You have these air battles while you're playing the game. Then you get to ride inside of a Titan and face off against gigantic freakazoid demons. It is such a great experience from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time I was playing it, and I just have to say this is just going to be something else that adds into that critically acclaimed title. I don't see how anyone can play this game and not see just how wonderful of a team that id Software and Bethesda have. I mean, even whenever it comes down to just the music that was done by Finishing Move, it had such a classic feel, such a love note of this is where Doom started. And I mean, Finishing Move has always been known for doing really great music with like the Callisto Protocol. I think they did what's wrong with me? Borderlands 3. And they also did Halo Wars 2. And, it's just overall, it was just like the overall feel. I've talked about this multiple times in many reviews to where I talk about music is a really big and important thing in a lot of these games. And Finishing Move really did this game justice by not just bringing in its new style of like metal, but also adding in a lot of different tones and different sounds and stuff like that were while this music was playing in the game, it really just pulled you in and made you feel like this is for sure a Doom experience. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's not a Doom experience. And that's what I'm saying about id Software overall, is they just have such a love and a passion for what they do, and they communicate this with composers, with people that are working with them to make sure and to ensure that it is sunken into the lore and the realm that they have built. There's so much time, there's so much love that is put into this game. And of course, we're seeing, when I say love, we're fighting off against demons and, cutting their bodies in half while they're wearing upside down crosses on their face. So, but there's still love. You can feel it, okay? You don't understand. I can tell that half of the team at id Software had to be drinking, the one and only energy drink that could have made them think about this, and it was balls. And of course, that's not a ad placement. I'm just saying, go to QuakeCon and you'll see what I'm talking about. But either way, back to the review. I apologize. Overall, the story was great. The gameplay is very fast, smooth. It played really great on the PlayStation 5. The overall controls were really, really, I feel this is just down pat. This is stuff that id Software is always great at doing, is making fast-paced, smooth games that feel like the best first-person shooter that you've ever played. And Doom Eternal was at the top of the mountain for me when it comes down to id Software titles. But Doom the Dark Ages now, it just, it took the cake for me, man. It's such an imaginative, wonderful, blood-pumping, overall just action thrill ride. The best out of id Software, and this just pumps me up, dude. Like, I know they've been going constant for years of just making more and more and more, and I don't see how they're continuously topping themselves. But this game is for sure the bee's knees of id Software. This is no ifs, ands, or buts. Their golden goose egg. Doom the Dark Ages is by far one of the best first-person shooter experiences that I've had, that merges a great cinematic story that I really, back in the day playing Doom, really didn't ever think that I was going to be able to partake in. And this is something that is a journey in itself. So I really am excited for you guys to check this game out and to play it. Overall, I have had such a great time with this game, and I can't wait to play even more. I'm just going back through now, getting as many secrets as I possibly can, and getting ready for Summer Games Fest. So I love you guys, and I just am overall joyed to say that Doom the Dark Ages is receiving a 5 out of 5. Doom the Dark Ages is hands down the golden egg of id Software, and I don't see how it cannot be the best first-person shooter at this point in time in 2025, and for sure a Game of the Year contender. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.